season how important it was to replace a lot of graduating offensive and defensive linemen. And as usual, we saw the defense jump out ahead of the offense in their progression and the performance. We've seen some really good things from the offensive line against some very good football teams. They generally give up size to the teams that they're playing, and I think that's not an exception to that against the Steelers.
Captains for both teams are heading up to midfield for the coin toss for the visiting Lobos. Number 8, Jacob Leduc. Number 26.
Now, I just had a conversation with D-line coach Eric Mills, who told me that we are probably a little off base, suggesting that his line is undersized. I tried to tell him that the narrative has been that they're giving up some size to most of the teams that they're playing, but he says these are big dudes. Is he right, or is he a little biased?
And number 78, Jason Walter.
Perez, there we go. So he on that defensive side, Coach Mills has the benefit of a little bit more size. Isaac Woodside's a pretty good size. He's got Jose Perez playing on that defensive line, and then out on those defensive end spots with Wyatt Johnson and I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Ziggy. I can't forget about Ziggy, our freshman, playing, and so he does have some more size on his defensive line. Usually I'm kind of talking more about the offensive line side when I refer to that a little bit of that size deficit. Haydyn Nichols and Stockton Turley and, Weston Flake's a pretty good-sized kid at right tackle and Crockett at right guard, but they give up a little size to most of the defensive lines they go against.
Now, we'll just go ahead and unveil those as our Ace Hardware keys to the game. Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car, just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week. Call Ace Hardware in Pinetop, Overgard, and Sholo, as Poston Butte on its own field here has won the toss, has elected to defer, so the Lobos are going to start for the second time in as many weeks here, both receiving the kick and on the road. What's been interesting as we talk about how these lines have been trying to gel, they've had a very tough front-loaded first half of the season, both with caliber of play and 4 road games of their first 6. Now, you can turn around and say they've been baptized by fire, and that they're going to be able to just kind of walk into the last third of the season playing at home, playing when it's going to be cold, playing in the elevation, and have a chance to really fine-tune an awful lot of things when they go into state, both with the expectation that they're going to be one of the more highly regarded teams going in, but also they got that last game against Arcadia, which it seems as if that's really emphasizing the importance of these games to make sure that they're really playing mistake-free football going into that last one.
Yeah, if you don't have October 31st scheduled on your calendar, and we get the benefit of looking ahead a little bit. We don't want that happening down on the field with our coaching staff or our players, but October 31st, Arcadia comes to town, and pray for a cold Halloween this year, folks. That's a little bit chilly. That'd be nice for that night.
So Northern Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northern Pioneer College. Our hometown college has the lowest tuition in the state, and you can pursue 4-year degrees as a short kick is taken around the 15. And that's Smith who's trying to spin out from one hash to the other, but bottled up pretty nicely. Still a pretty good return of about 20 yards. As we do also need to, this isn't necessarily an injury report, but want to remind you that Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. An already deep skill position group, and especially wide receiver room, just got deeper. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you'll see him. In fact, I think I see him out on the field right now for this first play. Nash Reedhead joins the team tonight. He's been working with them all year long as a transfer coming up from the Valley. I believe it was Campo Verde, but don't hate me if I'm wrong on that. But joins the team and able to play tonight in game number 6.
When the Lobos come out for the first play, lined up in single file behind center and then break to the line, and nobody is fooled as Filetti is there with the stop. The give went to Green, and he managed about a yard. Well, let's give him 2.
This is my first year up in the broadcast booth here with you, but Filetti, that's the name you've been calling for Poston Butte for a few years now. Great football player.
I got to go back and ask. You say the coaches can't look ahead, but we get to. Is that a tough adjustment for you? Now that you're back
to be up here, well, it's new to me, but I'm enjoying it.
No.
I feel less
to look
pressure.
ahead, dude.
To get to look ahead, yeah, that's kind of nice too.
Pistol formation after his 2-yard run. Give to Green. This time moves to the left side. He's got the edge. He's over the 50. Still on his feet there as he dives into Poston Butte territory. Picks up a first down and has a gain. Oh, let's give him 20.
Lobos showing early they want to commit to that run game and make sure they have that rolling and going. So Brenner right and Brenner left to start the game. I think they found something on that left side.
Morales there with the tackle. It looked like Green was having a frustrating day along the lines of Bradshaw Mountain against Marcos Deniza, but his last 2 carries went for huge yardage. Now he's going to fake the handoff. LeDuc keeps this one coming to the near side. Gets over the 45. Now the near sideline over the 40, 30, 20, and knocked out of bounds. A touchdown-saving tackle there by Brendan Weimerskirch.
You know, the snap was down low and to the left, I think, for Jacob to pick up there, and I don't know if that was the plan on the play, if that was read option and he was keeping that or what, but looks like it's coming back anyway.
So it's probably one of the receivers trying to seal that edge. It looks as if the spot foul is just going to put it back at the original line of scrimmage? Question mark?
Wait to see if they walk it off a little bit further here, but yeah, it's downfield a little bit. Holding is a spot foul in high school as of last year, so yeah, looks like they're basically right where they were.
So it's
1st and 10 again.
As if that didn't happen. Although Poston Butte put on notice after what were, at least initially, 2 big runs. Now pressure as they try to set up a wide receiver screen, and a nice job there getting in and blowing it up with the pressure, Gage Shennework.
Yeah, a little misdirection look there. LeDuc turns to his right and then turns back, and that's a little slip screen design coming from Christian Smith from wide receiver coming toward the inside, but they couldn't make the connection. The throw was a little short down on the ground there.
Stops play with 10:05 to go, 2nd and 10. Lobos took the opening kick and had a decent return. Got it past the 30, a 20-yard gain on 2nd and 8 from Green, who's out there having carried the ball twice for 22 yards. They're going to set up again in the pistol with 3 receivers going out wide left. He starts wheeling out instead. They're going to go into all sorts of traffic because I think that the intended man was Rabin. But again, a nice job here by the Broncos to get in the middle of things and start hurrying LeDuc up a little bit.
Yeah, that was partly by design. Another little screen look, kind of an inside slip screen look to Rabin that time. But again, it's just not quite making the connection.
That holding flag now looming very large. The clock's running on the incomplete pass, but 9:35 to go, and the Lobos facing 3rd and 10. This time the pocket moves to the left, throw this one toward the sideline, and an airmail they'll again intended for Rabin. It seems as if this would be a passing situation. The Poston Butte offense thus far has been struggling. So it might be a little bit of a slap to the face if Snowflake decides to go ahead and try for something here on 4th and 10.
I saw some hesitation there before they switched some guys in. I'm still not sure. It's hard to tell if they're running punt team out or if they're gonna take a shot at this here.
Of course, LeDuc does both the quarterbacking and punting duties, and looks like he's going to set up as a punter. Poston Butte expecting as much. Oh, we now hold the phone. A procedure flag thrown against the Lobos. So we got a holding flag that negated a huge first down run that was going to put those Lobos in the red zone, and now they're marking this one. Okay, there we go. I lost track of where the ball was. We're not sitting very high up.
No, we're not.
Kind of easy to lose track of.
Bit of a sloppy start for the Lobos. You know, last week they came out pretty much on fire at Marcos Deniza. We talk about those road trips, and it's tough to play after a long bus ride. I think we're seeing more of that tonight than we did last week.
This one bounces laterally before it starts angling back toward the goal line. It'll go inside the 15. Pretty good kick there to set up a long field for Poston Butte, which will come out with its first opportunity.
Lobos' first game on natural grass this year. Every game so far has been on our home artificial turf field, and all of our away games so far too. But Leduc showed that he can still get a pretty good punt off and get a roll on some natural grass here.
Does that alter anything, especially looking back at that holding flag on the outside?
I think things like that you might see. The holding flag, I don't think that had anything to do with it.
This might be a fumble. That ball was on the turf. Broncos were able to get on top of it. As there's no score, 8:44, first possession here for Poston Butte. Lobos kicked it inside the 20, and now dropping back and giving this one on a quick offering to whom? That was Filetti.
Didn't catch a number, but they didn't. If that was a fumble on the first play, they also didn't change it to second down. They just did.
There we go.
They went from first to third on the box over on the visitor sideline. So, all right, I think everything's right with the world now. Third and long here for the Lobos defense.
Third and long with Grady Garner coming out as the quarterback, completing just 38% of his passes here in a passing situation, and now there's some movement on the left side of the line, so third and long just got third and longer. Filetti is the leading rusher. He's good for about 4 yards a carry, so I'm just pick up 2.
Yeah, and again, you see some pretty good size in that line from Poston Butte. So, this is a team. They're sitting at 0-5. They've struggled so far this year. They're looking for some positives on this game tonight.
Give again, Filetti again trying to exploit the interior of Snowflake's line, but nothing doing.
I think the snap went on the ground.
Oh, there another one.
I don't know if. Nope, I think the quarterback managed to pick that up.
So that was Garner trying to make something happen there. And again, we don't know an awful lot about what might be shaken, but 2 snaps that go in the wrong direction of the first 3 might indicate that there could be some sort of Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center situation, as there is a big fella wearing shorts in front of us. Well, 2 of them actually, 54 and 64.
Yeah, I noticed 64 walking around before the game. He's a big dude.
Fair catch fumbled there by Willis, but he's able to fall back on it. So the Lobos wind up with the football right around where it was when they had that holding flag whistled against them.
Okay, second offensive possession, and we'll probably see some of those early adjustments by the Lobos and see what they can do to attack this Poston Butte defense.
Shown some excellent runs there, as there's a few technical problems that we're working through with the scoreboard, the video feed, which hopefully is starting to show some strength, but we apologize for the things that are going on that we can't control. 7:09 to go first. Option pitch coming out to the near side. Green again able to pick up a block coming to the edge as he gets over the 40 and is eventually forced out of bounds at the 35. Picks up 13 and has a first down. Some fans that are sitting around us thought that might have been aided by an illegal block, but the officials disagree.
Well, didn't see a flag on that, and again, we saw that last week against Marcos with Leduc kind of holding the defense inside with that ball for just a second and then pitching it to Green. And Green's showed us some really good speed this year that I don't think we've expected from him right off the bat.
1st and 10, down to the Poston Butte 35, no score, 6:45 to play, first quarter. Second possession here for the Lobos. Again, working from the shotgun as Smith goes in motion. He gets the toss. Going to try now to run in front with Green blocking for him. Zigs back toward the far sideline and is right at the yard marker, close to another Snowflake first down.
Pretty well executed there. The timing on that's important on a fly sweep play like that. And I think you pointed out last week that's actually counts as a pass play because the quarterback, you'll see him pitch that ball forward to the receiver as he comes across his face. So those go as passing yards for Jacob Leduc tonight.
The quarterback rating dream. Zip does move the chains for another first down. 6:15 to go in the first quarter. There's still no score. Now Green's coming out of the backfield, coming to the right side. Low snap is nearly intercepted after Leduc had to pick that one up, and then it was well read there. Right now the Broncos, despite the 0-5 record, look like they have been doing an awful lot in the film room, as there's been a few plays that just got blown up. First, a couple of runs on the first sequence, now this one.
Yeah, really well prepared there, and a little slow on the timing. Leduc probably wants to get that ball out a little bit sooner on that play.
That was Avian Lanfear who had nearly picked that one off. Stops play with 5:44 to go. Now from the pistol, here comes Leduc, 1 for 4. Instead gives way Green, bounces away from one tackler, and now is again at the yard marker on the far sideline, and he's at the second level. And no, he's in the end zone. It looked as if the officials were pointing back to say that he was out of bounds. Instead, that's going to be a 35-yard Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown run.
Yeah, a nice run. They've run off tackle to both sides and attacked the outside a little bit with Brenner, and that time they go right up the middle through the A gap, and then he bounces it to the outside and gets to that sideline and takes it on into the end zone.
It looked like he was going to be stopped potentially about 5 yards upfield, and then as soon as he got the sideline, it seemed as if the question was, are they going to be able to push him out of bounds? Is he going to run out of real estate? But, man, he just zipped right by everybody. This is the second time, like you'd mentioned, he hasn't necessarily, as they're going to go ahead and try for 2, and that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Haydyn Nichols carrying the ball there, a little swinging gate look they call that on the PAT, and Haydyn made a pretty good effort, got closer than he deserved to on that play.
5:34 to go, 6-0 Snowflake with the early edge. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Contact, too.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. You pay the lowest tuition in the state, and your hometown college will let you get a 4-year degree in education or business. 35-yard touchdown run. Green is already at 70.
Yeah, he played a big part in the first 2 drives with some big runs and already getting some good yardage on his stat sheet. But again, one of the keys, I think, to overall success of this Lobo team is kind of spreading that ball around. So it'll be interesting to see what the next offensive series holds. But that'll be after we play a little defense here.
Expecting this one to land short of the goal line are the Poston Butte return men. And that one is indeed going to be taken around the 5, but then on a knee. Well, that is the 3rd time here this season where some difficulties on special teams with just trying to secure possession have expired the possession with a knee down.
Number 4, Robert Howard on that kick reception, and he caught it and wanted to get going quickly, but he lost his footing there.
I think the last time we saw it in this volume, or well, not that there's happened more than once here in the first quarter, but that Catalina Foothills punter probably still having Lobo nightmares.
Yeah,
that was pretty early in the season.
Those were snaps that were not coming directly to, and they were kind of going all over the place.
Filetti on a good snap is trying to bounce it out to the right side, winds up bullying his way toward the 10. Very bad field position here for the Broncos, as he is able to very physically take it about 4 yards upfield. Nichols there with the stop.
Yeah, good snap. The line blocked well enough to get him to level 2, and Filetti is a tough customer. He's not going to go down on first contact.
We got Kamari Jones, who's a junior, as well as get the rest after this one. High snap brought down. Filetti is going to bear most of that burden, is having to bring the snap down and get it into the breadbasket, allowed for the Lobos to penetrate. We got both the aforementioned Kamari Jones as well as I want to say Boston Peterson, who's a senior, both of them wearing numbers that are awful offensive line E, but in this day and age that doesn't mean much. So that could be one reason why some of these snaps have gone a little bit errant, is right now the current Center is batting about 500. Going under center here is Garner as he gets this toss out. And again looking to get this one zipping out to the far side. And this time the blocking was there. The snap was good. And on a big carry, we couldn't see it.
Yep, lost it right there. But, yeah, usually that guy went a little bit outside. So you're going to have to take a look at your outside linebacker and see did they get blocked? Did they get hooked? Did they step a little too far inside?
Caden Dunn there with the big run as Filetti going to get the call on first down and 10. Clock dips under 4 minutes to play. 6-0 Snowflake leading. That one will go for a loss.
Yeah, defensive line making the play there. Nothing, not giving up anything there in the middle and holding strong and doing a good job.
I think that was 12 yards on Dunn's carry to move the chains. Takes it out to the Poston Butte 20, not just shy of the 25, as it's second and long. Again, Garner, we mentioned on the previous possession, still trying to get to 40% through the air, and a little off-schedule play here as there's a short shotgun snap. He fakes the handoff and runs to the far side, but that time not fooled at all in the least was Smith.
Yeah, a couple of Lobo defenders bit hard on that fake, but luckily the backside stayed played discipline there. Christian Smith with a nice tackle on that play.
Does pick up 2, but it's another third and long situation here for the Broncos. 6-0 Snowflake leading. 2:50 to play in the first. Snowflake had to accept the opening kick after losing the toss. Got held up around the 50 because of a holding flag that negated a big run for Leduc. Poston Butte now, after giving up the touchdown, has moved the chains once. This one thrown low, but it's still grabbed, but a swarming Snowflake defense is not going to allow for that to come at all close to a first down, as there on the reception is Daniel Bannister.
That slip screen's it's a timing play and getting the ball in the right spot to the receiver. Those are all things that need to happen, and getting the blockers out there. And they managed to pick up a good 5-6 yards there, but this brings up fourth down here.
Willis is back-ish. It's a little deeper than he would be. Now a punter's coming out, so he's going to start more hastily retreating, and into the neutral zone come 3 different Lobos. So that will move the chains.
That will move the chains. You don't know if that's by design that punter comes out late to kind of just draw a little more distraction or whatever, but it definitely caught a couple of defensive linemen there ready to get off the ball, and got them offsides and converted a first down.
Minute 27 to go, 6-0, Snowflake leading, but now Poston Butte, which had this drive start inside the 10 after a misplayed punt, has moved it all the way out to the 33 as a give to Filetti has him stopped after another very hard-fought gain of 1. Yeah,
you see at least this right side, which is closest to us of the defensive line, just collapsing right down and not giving Filetti much room to run there.
Ulbrich there with the catch, and we started calling his name an awful lot more over the last couple of weeks as he sets up again on the right side of the Snowflake defensive line. Under center goes Garner as he'll again go Filetti, and it looked like he was going to have a little bit of a hole, but that closed quickly as Nichols was there first.
Yep, and that time the linebackers getting in. You got all 3. You got your two insides, Haydyn Nichols and Connor Reed, and then outside linebacker from this side, all 3 in on that tackle there.
Don't know if Poston Butte needs to get this play off, as there's only 15 seconds remaining in the first, but you look at what had happened on the previous fourth down play, able to get Snowflake jumping into the neutral zone. You might be thinking, all I got to do is pick up a couple here, as there's 6 seconds. Now the officials are starting to converge as 1 second, and that will do it for the first period of play. The Lobos lead 6-0. Big 3rd and 7 coming up after this. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
6-0 Snowflake leading here to start the second quarter. When you're going to start your college education, you should do so at Northern Pioneer College. You pay the lowest tuition in the state. You can pursue 4-year degrees in education and business. As having moved the chains twice after this drive started very deep in their own territory. Pitch comes to the near side, accelerating and putting his head down to run over one or two defenders is Whom, but it's a first down run. Oh, but late getting up.
That's Robert Howard, number 4. We made took that pitch and put his foot in the ground, as we say, and just cut that right up and threw a little gap off the right side. Very nice run. I hope he's okay here.
It's a Summit Regional Medical Center injury report. Has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Right now, his right leg was bent at an angle while his left was flat against the turf. It seems as if he might be holding his midsection, though.
Or left shoulder or arm, can't tell for sure.
He definitely put his head down to try and initiate contact. It might be a rib, as he's holding on to his left rib cage. They're very tenderly supporting his left arm. Keep an eye on that one, but again, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game.
Hopefully he's okay. It looks like in the meantime something, I don't know if somebody's saying something or what, but there's a sideline warning here on the Poston Butte.
Well, that's interesting because Howard was
not even off the field.
Party that brought the violence. If something could have been done as far as one of the Lobo tacklers, they were on the receiving end, and they're going to say no flag.
The officials are waving on the flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, he threw the flag right there just as Howard was coming off the sideline, being helped off the sideline. And so I figured maybe a coach or player had said something to the official on this side, but they whatever it was, they waved it off, and we're ready to play football.
They got Howard on the table right now, so back into the backfield goes Filetti. First down that was picked up here by the Broncos as a high snap brought down. Now Garner wants to try to pass. Pump fake, throws this one into traffic, but running underneath that one momentarily was Bannister. Could not hang on to it, though, but it was a nice delivery there from Garner.
Yeah, nice ball. Safety's a little late getting over there to help defend that as that's coming inside. Gian is covering that outside, and hopefully they'll see that one coming next time, defend that a little bit better.
That was actually Achilles Leon who was the intended man.
One he would like to have back again. That was a well-thrown ball.
Second down and 10 as this pitch comes to the near side, and there are the Lobos inside the line of scrimmage bringing down the ball carrier. It says it was done.
Yeah, same play they had success on with Howard when he was injured a few plays ago. That time the Lobos were right on it. Didn't leave that alley open. Came up and made a sure tackle.
Nichols and King there with the stop. Pushed him back. Well, they're going to say it was a 3-yard loss, so here comes third and a lot. As they do have that one running play from Dunn that was good for 12 yards, but otherwise Poston Butte here on its second possession has been very station to station. as they say in another sport. Split backs behind Garner. One man split wide left, and near side is a handoff will go Filetti, and he is able to bounce off a series of tacklers. And there's some station to station as he winds up gaining 15 and moves the chains again.
You know, probably a good play call. You got 3rd and long, and most likely the defensive line call is for a pass rush, and which means they're not as disciplined on their lanes and maintaining their lanes. And they hand the ball right off up the middle to Filetti, and he made a great run there.
Woof, he was contacted by about half of the Snowflake defense. He's been working hard to gain 2 or 4 yards for the most part, but there's 15 to get his totals up to 23 on 6 carries. Right around his average as he's now dotting the I. Under center goes Garner, now in Snowflake territory as Filetti again gets the call. This time tries the right side. And that's a little bit more of what has been happening here in the first half as he fights his way out for a 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, Poston Butte working hard to establish a run game here, and if they can figure out how to block that front just a little bit better, 2 yards is not terrible on a carry. You need a little bit more than that to maintain drives, though.
Woodside there with the stop for Snowflake to set up 2nd and 8 with the clock approaching 10 minutes to play in the half. Pitch this one to Dunn as he goes to the left. It's momentarily stopped by a shoestring, but that just holds up the rest of the defense to get there. I think Nichols was there first.
Lobos showing some of that speed they have on that defensive front and in the second level with their linebackers. So it's hard to run side to side against this Lobo defense.
It was Nichols first, and then Jones was able to bring him down. Jones coming off of a huge game defensively against Marcos Deniza. We gave him our player of the game. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint. Brenner Green, I think, was named the player of the game in the locker room. He's had a big start, too, and trying to get it back now as it's 3rd and long, but that hasn't been a big deal for the Broncos as Garner has to throw that one under duress. As there with the pressure was who was that? That was Jack Butler.
Jack Butler, 64, putting some pressure on, and even that ball was thrown a little behind the receiver there, but even a completion, I'm not sure that was going to develop into much.
So we're in that part of the field. The analytics say go ahead and go for it for the most part.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe try to get a free 5 yards here again too.
I just don't understand the analytics. It feels like starting to drive on the 20 is a lot different than on the 40. I know you only give up 20 yards, but they're going to try look at a screen, and now behind the defense is Leon, but wide open, though, unable to connect, and that goes to the point is the Lobo offense is now going to have a pretty short field, even if you blast it into the end zone. I don't know. Am I looking at this incorrectly? You used to have to make these calls.
Used to make the calls down there, but I think you're a third of the way into the second quarter here with the number 1 ranked 4A team, and you're sitting at a 6-0 deficit. You had a pretty good offensive drive going. It's hard to let that go. So
okay.
I think I'd be hard pressed to punt that one away too.
9-12, the Lobos take over on downs. Green, who's out there with 70 yards on 4 carries and a touchdown, going to fake the handoff, and now rotating over the left shoulder. Leduc is able to get this thing freed up to try to send it downfield where he's got Smith caught at the sideline at the 25. Was he in bounds? It looks like he was.
I think he was in bounds, made the reception, and managed to get a couple of feet down. Almost managed to turn upfield, but couldn't quite stop his momentum toward the sideline.
Jacob Leduc, with 3 pass rushers in his face, was able to spin off toward the Snowflake sideline and give himself time enough to deliver. This time he's going to set it up with Willis, who's catching this one, has a block along the far sideline as he accelerates to the yard marker. And looks like he is going to be just shy. Oh, nope. No, he is. Just shy. 9 yards.
9 yards. Nice execution there. They threw that little bubble screen to the short side of the field and executed it well.
Snowflake going with tempo. The snap is dropped. Leduc is such a load. He nearly broke free there. Oh, boy, as you see him there on the replay, having to pick that one up already with 2 pass rushers in his way, and he somehow was forcing 2 others to come in there and get it. And in the meantime, it looks as if somebody grabbed his face mask as he was trying to make something out of nothing.
Flag came in there from the umpire. Saw something there, hands to the face or a face mask.
It's something that we talk about a lot, especially when we're talking about his speed, but there you could get a real appreciation for exactly how big is Jacob Leduc. He had no business almost making a play there.
Good size, and he's a solid kid. He's a kid, if you throw him in the deep end of the pool, he's not gonna float, I'll tell you that much.
First and goal,
like I would.
After the face mask flag. And nope, fake the handoff. Green. Leduc spins inside the 5, gains 3.
Little read option look there. I don't know if he's actually reading it or if that's called carry for Leduc, but we got Brenner as a distraction going to the left and Jacob running up the middle there.
Filetti there with the stop to save the touchdown again. 8 minutes to go, 6-0 Snowflake leading and threatening. This drive thus far been highlighted by a 35-yard pass play between Leduc and Smith. As Leduc just called his own number, this time does go with Green, hesitates at the line of scrimmage and gets stood up after a 3-yard gain.
3 yards and 3 yards. They're chunking it out down here, but now it brings up a third and about 3 or 4 to get in the end zone here.
Already up 6-0 for the beneficiaries after an option to go for it on 4th and 8. Had a play that was wide open downfield, but a tough delivery there for Garner. Gave the Lobos a very short approach. Now trying to punch it in short yardage style. They are going to put 4 receivers out, though trips to the left. Green back in the pistol as they look to throw. Swing that's out to him on the wheel. Caught, met at the goal line, and looks to be short.
Yeah, I think we're looking about the 1 yard line down there. It's hard to tell from this angle up here, but interesting decision here for Coach Reddick and his staff to, 1 yard or kick it.
4th and 1. Just watched the Broncos pick up a few first downs on the previous possession. It's not quite the same circumstance as it looked to be after the first series when there were 2 bad snaps and a 3 and out. But still got to feel pretty confident in the defense as they have this one. Might be a little outside the 1, actually, as they turn and give. No, they fake the handoff, and here's Leduc running off the left side and unbothered into the end zone for a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown from 2 yards out.
Nice job there. Good play call. You expect them to stack the middle. I think you expect you to just try to run over the top of them, and instead you let Leduc use his speed to the outside, and he walks in the end zone there.
Just went with the swing and gate on the first swing, got denied. Nichols, and now Norton is going to come back, and we'll have Edge Bryant act as his holder. Off on the right side, is that Rabin?
Yeah, on the edge over there. No, that's Brewer actually. Sorry,
okay,
number 6.
Looked like a little bit of a different set there, as I've been observing that they've been getting a lot of pressure off the edge, and have both of those blockers on the outside with their backs to each other. That just to try to give them a little bit better shot to try to block that, or
well, it is a timing thing. Your kicker definitely needs to be on time. Snap and hold are crucial, of course, and kicker needs to be on time. The problem you have if you start stepping guys further out is, of course, you're letting pressure come in a little bit closer to the ball. And generally, when you see the blocks happen, it's when something breaks down further toward the middle of the formation.
13-0 Snowflake leading, 6:26 to go, second half. I beg your pardon, second quarter. It's been a long day. Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, you should do so at NPC. Hometown school, lowest tuition. 4-year degrees, education and business. As here comes the approach, and this one again short and out of bounds. Nice decision there to allow that to go out by, I believe that was Daniel Caraballo.
Yeah, hard to tell from up here whether he actually touched that or not, but smart of him not to, and allow that to bounce out of bounds. That'll give them the option of taking the ball at the 35 instead of the 20.
So good field position. Here's an interesting score in the second quarter. ALA West Foothills 7, Paradise Honors 7.
Got to see a little Paradise Honors film. That was against Combs in their 2-0 game that Combs won. Those are both pretty good football teams in our region. Well, Combs is in our region, I should say.
Oh, very awkward exchange there, as it looked like Garner at the very last minute opted to keep that one, but the Lobos were there defensively regardless.
A little bit of that triple option type look where he's riding the dive back and then pulling the ball, and he wasn't able to pull it cleanly, and that held him up a little bit.
Reed there with the stop. So that Combs score was the actual score. I thought somebody forfeit.
It was 2-0. I think they usually put 1-0 in, I think, on a forfeit. So, no, that was a safety, I believe. I didn't get to watch the entire game, but I believe it was a one safety that was given up in that game by Paradise Honors, and that was it.
Wow. That's something you don't see very often at all. It's now 2nd and 10, 5:35. Second quarter, I formation with Filetti, who gets the call, and again met at the line of scrimmage, but you got to hold your breath because it takes more than one or two connections to get him to fall. That time he does fight his way out for a gain of 2, but it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, he's good at finding a little bit of a gap. If somebody doesn't get a hold of him and hold him up, he's gonna make it more than 2.
Bradshaw Mountain leading Flagstaff at home 21-0. Big one on the mountain is Blue Ridge going down to Payson. Trying to keep an eye on that score as well.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game.
I formation again, handoff Filetti, who tries to go to the left. He is again bouncing off of a tackler and now winds up very close to the yard marker, but a flag comes out in the vicinity of where you would expect a hold.
Yeah, like we just got done saying, if somebody doesn't get a hold of him and wrap him up, then he's going to make you pay, and he would have there, but unfortunately they got a holding call.
Haydyn Nichols eventually brought him down, but you mentioned how we've been calling his name an awful lot over the last couple of years. He just seemed an awful lot stronger than he had been in the past.
He does look bigger to me. From my perspective, I'd say 20 pounds heavier maybe. Looks strong and is running hard.
Sort of a who's that dude that was at ASU last year?
Scatterboo?
Yeah, that's the one.
A bruiser.
4:35 now, and facing 3rd down and about 18 as this one swings out to Caraballo, who is going to run upfield a little bit, very little bit. He winds up picking up maybe 5.
Gets a little bit back from the holding penalty that pushed him back a ways, but good defense by the Lobos. Way to rally to the ball out here on this side.
So now 4th and an awful lot. Snowflake gave a first down on a neutral zone infraction on the previous possession. Got both Smith and Willis moving right to left, expecting a punt. As this high snap brought down, pressure there from Ulberg, but angling toward Willis. He gets underneath that one and runs out of bounds at the 40. So it'll be the same line of scrimmage here to start this drive after the Lobos just put it in to go ahead 13-0. Oliver Herring was there making sure that Willis couldn't turn it up the sideline.
Yeah, and a good job by Willis there. Some would question trying to catch that on the sideline like that, but you never know. He caught that about 2 yards inbounds, and those punts that might hit and bounce back in toward the field and roll another 10 or 15 yards. So good job by Coulter on that fielding that punt.
Under 4 minutes to go, and whistle stopping play. As Snowflake wants to take a timeout, we'll join them. 13-0, the Lobos are up at Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
This is Angela Diamond for Horn Auto Center, and we have some diamond of deals going on all month long. Check out the Chevy Equinox 2026 all-wheel drive starting at $32,000. Check out this diamond of a deal on the Chevy Silverado, discounted up to $8,000, bringing it under $42,000. Come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy Cadillac GMC store that saves you more.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Snowflake uses its first timeout, now facing 1st and 10 with 3:52 to go in the third. Fake the handoff, and now throwing this one over the top where it's grabbed, and now upfield where there's all sorts of green in front of Nash Reedhead.
There's the transfer we brought up earlier, that first game tonight with the Lobos. He's had to sit out the first 5 games in spite of the fact that he's moved, more than 100 miles to play football up there. But we're excited to have him as part of the program, and he's a threat as a tight end there.
Why is he listed at 6'3", 180? That seems legit.
I think that 6'3", might be conservative. He feels like a tall kid when you stand next to him.
Initially flirting with the swing and gate, but now are going to bring the traditional extra point unit back out there. A little bit of a low snap, but it's down and up and good. 20-0. Snowflake leading after that Comfort Fit Denture 60-yard touchdown between LeDuc and Nash Reedhead getting his first action in a Lobo uniform. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school. Learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
We'll be having the winner drawn at the end of our
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. Lowest tuition in the state, 4-year degrees in education and business. We were just talking off air. We got a score at Eastmark where Mesquite is only trailing 12-7.
Yeah, that's a little closer than I would have expected that one to be at this point in time. But this is a point of the season. We're starting region play. Ooh.
That one's rolling live and now brought down inside the 5. That's Smith. Or is that Willis who didn't give up on it? That was Smith.
Yeah, Christian down there right on the coverage and doesn't allow a single yard on that return. Great job by Christian on the kick coverage.
A costly miscommunication between the 2 return men. I think they both thought the other was going to grab it and then realized really late that is operating as an onside kick plus.
So, yeah, you just never know. We start region play the second half of the season. You see some teams kind of change their face a little bit.
Filetti gets the call, tries the right side, and he is met after a very short gain of 2.
The Broncos sticking with that run game, and Filetti's their guy. They're gonna put things on his shoulders here and try to stay on time, as we say, with that first down run.
Seth Farnsworth there with the stop. Second down now, a very short 9 as they again try Filetti, but this time he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage and loses both of those yards. We talked in the opener about how the Lobo defensive line ought not to be considered smallish. I'm playing this bruising running back that could make anybody look a little bit small. How well are the Lobos doing making sure they're coming off their blocks and giving themselves a chance to try to tackle this guy in the first level?
Seem to be doing a pretty good job. We seem to see the defensive line making plays, and when they're not making the tackle, we're often seeing the linebacking core make tackles at the line of scrimmage, which either way means they are doing their job.
That was Nichols on the tackle. Third down, I beg your pardon, and 9. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the half. 20-0. Snowflake with the lead. Quick toss going out. Try to set up a screen. I can't tell who catches that one, but he is swarmed and again going to be brought down right around the line of scrimmage. I think that was Leone.
Oh, yeah, number 80 out on the little slip screen look, and he took him a while to corral him, but in the meantime, he wasn't able to get much forward momentum and much yardage there.
So
on
Nichols
that play.
had the last stop inside the tackles, and he's got that one all the way out on the wide receiver screen.
Yep, he can cover some ground. Haydyn Nichols is one of the better linebackers you're going to see. So you watch high school football this year in the state of Arizona.
What's that? What we call motor?
Got a motor. Yeah, going to get to the ball.
Timeout, Snowflake, to try to preserve as much of the last 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Force the Broncos to punt this out of the end zone. Back to receive Willis and Smith. Saw Willis make a great play to prevent any yardage being lost by allowing the punt to get by him. He's right now near the near hash, closer to the Poston Butte sideline. Smith opposing him. And to try to kick this away with very little space to work with is Raymond Diaz. Didn't have all 11 out there, but now have the full allotment, and doesn't look like Snowflake wants to bring any pressure. Gets away a good kick that's angling toward Willis, takes it at the heart of the field, now starts moving to the left. He's at the 30. Straight arm at the 25, and then eventually, no, he's still on his feet as he gets toward the 20.
A good strong run by Coulter there, and again, it's not going to go down. It's going to take a little more contact than that. He's getting pulled and pushed, but not wrapped up and taken down, so gets a few extra yards even on the end of that carry.
Just treated Caraballo with rudeness on that straight arm, as the Lobos will have excellent field position. Now, how do you determine who's going to field that one? As both Willis and Smith were in the area, is it just like somebody's a center fielder, they get to call him
middle
off?
of the field. I think from up here it's a little harder to tell, but from down there it's usually going to be pretty easy to see who that ball's coming down closer to.
Just outside the red zone, Leduc, who had a 60-yard passing touchdown, flips up a screen to Green as he has got to make one man miss to cut back inside of the 10, and then he's going to accelerate into the end zone for a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown from 22 yards out. The last two series have been one play each and have gone for 82 yards total.
Good job by Leduc to start that one off, and the offensive line. You sell pass, you get a good pass rush going. Leduc keeps dropping, just hesitates a little bit longer, and then puts that ball out there to Brenner on a catchable ball, and Brenner does the rest. Great run by Brenner Green.
They used a timeout now as they're going to flip this one over to Bryant, and he will accelerate to the pylon to get the 2-point conversion and get it back up to a 4 full touchdown advantage, 28-0 with 1:57 to go in the second quarter. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the number
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at NPC. Lowest tuition in the state. Bachelor's degrees in business and education. We were talking about a score when we were coming back as Paradise Honors is now leading ALA West Foothills 14-7. ALA West Foothills had shocked the world, perhaps, by knocking off Micah Mountain, but
yeah, following that loss to the Lobos up in Snowflake, they turned around and beat Micah Mountain, and it's definitely a solid program. But I think Paradise Honors is showing that they're going to be in the mix as a 4A school. New to the 4A this year, Paradise Honors moved up from the 3A ranks last year.
There's some tough. Probably looking at like 8 schools that got to feel like they got a chance to win it.
Yeah, in 4A, most of the polls have Snowflake sitting at number 1. You know, the opinion polls, if you want to call them that. But most people will tell you that I think there's 6 or 7 or 8 teams that have a legitimate shot at the 4A ranks.
Perhaps we can name them in the second half, as that was a 7-yard gain from Caraballo. Now back into the backfield is Filetti, as he has a little bit of a delayed give. Don't know if everybody knew the snap count there, but he's able to, again, to just bully his way forward and pick up 4 yards and a first down.
I guess the key players knew it because they turned it into a first down. Good run by Filetti there to move the sticks and get something positive here before the end of this first half.
75 seconds to go in the half. Team's trailing 28-0. Now move all the receivers over to the right side on the short side of the field. That includes Leon, who's been able to get open a couple of different times. Garner fakes a pass to the screen. Now he's going to try to get this one over the middle where it is caught. Now running toward midfield. A big hit is delivered by Gian Jones. That might be in the front seat to try to get the Deemers glass shattering hit of the game, but it does come after a 21-yard gain and another first down.
A good job by number 7, Weimer Skirch, I think is the name there, that he just got into a window and got open there on that pass play and made a nice play.
Hand off to Filetti with the clock under a minute to go on first down, and now a timeout taken by Poston Butte. We're going to go ahead and take it with them. 28-0 to trailing but threatening. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
A little bit of a contact between the quarterback and running back trying to move the pocket out to the left. Pass, they're saying that was caught.
Yeah, I think you could.
It definitely was.
That. The clock's running anyway, though. They didn't. The officials were a little slow to react to that. Either way, the clock should have stopped. Whether it was a catch or not, it should have been I thought it would have been a first down.
Well, they got him marked a yard short, and then did Poston Butte just have to use another timeout?
Yeah, interesting management of the game here, but they took a timeout. Poston Butte's feeling a little bit right now. They got a little bit of momentum, trying to make something positive happen here going into halftime.
Are going to get the ball to start the second half as well, so they only have 24 seconds to work with. I did not see who was in the backfield pressuring Garner, but I think that combining with running into Filetti kind of didn't allow this pass play to fully develop. As we're looking at the replay, his hands seem to be underneath it. I mean, they've already ruled it a catch, but I think that would withstand any sort of replay scrutiny.
Hard to tell, but I sure thought he was a little further down the field when where he made that catch as well. But anyway, third and 1 here. A couple of chances for Poston Butte to get some points before halftime.
Just 24 seconds to work with, and one more timeout that could be utilized, as Filetti going to start just a yard behind his quarterback Garner in the shotgun. Now he's going to go under center. 3 receivers coming off to the right side. Fake, nope, they give the handoff to Filetti as he is able to get the first down, but it took 7 seconds. They do stop the clock to move the chains, but that was a slow developing play that was made even slower when he was fighting for the extra yardage.
Yeah, the extra yards, but they did do a good job of getting back on the ball here. Uh-oh.
Pass thrown out to the near side, and a first down or close to it, as that one was caught by, I think that was
number 7.
They say Weimer Skirch on the PA.
That was a good catch by him. Good play design. They managed to sneak him out to the right-hand side, and nobody covering him. But the Lobos able to minimize the damage, and Poston Butte had to use their final timeout to have another shot or two here before halftime.
Do they have 6 seconds, and they are on the 30? 25?
Depends on the play. If he drops back and it takes a while for something to develop down the field, then it's going to take it'll use up that time. But if they can get a couple of quick passes or maybe one quick pass and then run a field goal unit out, they might have a chance of getting a field goal here.
What's the objective defensively?
Definitely don't give up the score. Don't let anything behind you. If you can keep them in bounds, then they don't have any more timeouts. They won't have anything to do. But
so this one toward the sideline and out of bounds. No, widen the clock, they're saying. He was in bounds, and that's going to do it.
And I think that's the right call. I think his knees went down before the ball touched out of bounds. And so the official on this sideline is not going to be popular here in the Poston Butte stands, but I think that's the right call.
I think it was the right call. I think if there were frustrations, it's that he took so long to make the call. But 28-0 Snowflakes leading as Poston Butte's shown some signs of life on the offensive end, but the Lobos' last two scoring drives, 2 plays and a combined 82 yards, I beg your pardon, to take this 28-0 lead. We'll have the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show coming up after this as Lobos are up 4 scores, that is. It's Phil LaFord's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
This is Angela Diamond for Horn Auto Center, and we have some diamond of deals going on all month long. Check out the Chevy Equinox 2026 all-wheel drive starting at $32,000. Check out this diamond of a deal on the Chevy Silverado, discounted up to $8,000, bringing it under $42,000. Come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy Cadillac GMC store that saved you more.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint Commit today.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
This is iTalk 106.7's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Halftime Show.
Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda casinos. The Lobos are here at Poston Butte playing their 4th of 5 road games. Of course, this is just their 6th game total. So they started off a little bit slowly on the road, but then really started to look like they were putting it all together, as had happened at home. Away from Snowflake last week against Marcos Deniz, but having to come down twice in just 8 days, we'll say. First question, as we talk about a little bit of a slow start here, how much does that really wear you down as a coach? How much does it wear down the players that you're trying to make sure you're not going to use that as an excuse?
Yeah, these road trips are long. You can't use it as an excuse, but it takes a little bit to shake off that bus ride, especially two weeks in a row coming all the way down here. What did it top out at 100 degrees down here today, and it feels beautiful tonight. But you got to remember these guys are practicing up there in Snowflake a lot of times in the late evening, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, and it's getting down in the 60s and 50s by the time they're done with practice. So 100 degrees feels like a lot for these guys, but
which is funny because those of us who live here view 100 degrees as just wonderful.
You guys are enjoying the weather.
It's
finally
cooling
broke.
off.
But good things. We're seeing good things. They're shaking that off. They're starting to make some. They're not huge plays like we saw at Marcos last week, but you see Brenner Green. He got off to a hot start, running the ball well, and now with the reception that he made a great run after that catch for the touchdown. Christian Smith with the long catch. And they're playing good football. Defensively, that last drive, Poston Butte worked very hard for what they did get on that last drive. You got to feel good about where the defense is and where it's looking. The one big play we did see that went all the way to the end zone from Nash Reedhead, our new player, his first game as a Lobo tonight, and showing us that he's going to have a big upside in the blue and white with the Lobos. Excited for his future.
I think a lot of people back up north are looking at this kind of like this team, lost to Marcos 49-0, is 0-5 and all that stuff. But one half of football in, and just see some of the highlights that are running if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, where they almost picked off that wide receiver screen and had, especially in the first couple of drives, players in the backfield blowing up an awful lot of stuff. They've forced Snowflake to generally play mistake-free football, and that's especially the case on the defensive side, where Filetti is just tough to bring down. And when he's given a little bit of a crease, he's able to exploit it. It seems as if, and again, just taking this back to dismissing the notion that this should be or ever would have been a cakewalk, that the Lobos are really taking this 28-0 lead in large part because they're playing a team that is forcing them to play mistake-free, and they generally are doing so.
They're playing good football, and Poston Butte. If you look at the history here, their first head coach was Paul Morrow, and Dane Thompson, who this is his first year not being with the program. Dane was their head coach up to last year. He came down here from Blue Ridge with Coach Morrow, and they built this program, and obviously the hallmark of toughness, hard hitting, hard-nosed football it's built into the Poston Butte legacy, and it's still there. You can see it out on the field with the way these guys compete. They've definitely been struggling so far this year, but look no further than that last drive just before halftime. There's no quit in this group, and they're fighting hard to try and make some positive things happen for their fans and their football program.
Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. We'll continue the conversation as the Lobos lead 28-0 here at the break. Cholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome back to Santan, Arizona. We're here at halftime, and Snowflake leads 28-0, and we're going to do some halftime scores from around the state. But we're going to first talk about Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to Hyundai and Outdoor Store, north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Hyundai Casino. First score I've got for you is Prescott and Mojave are having a good game. It's 14-14. Next week's opponent for Snowflake is Combs. They're trailing Arcadia 27-0 at halftime. Paradise Honors leads ALA West Foothills 14-7. And Bradshaw Mountain is making easy work of Flagstaff 28-6. Chino Valley leads 8-7. And Brophy leads Shadow Ridge 22-0 at halftime. Okay, this show was brought to you by Hyundai Ski and Outdoor Sport. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to Hyundai Ski and Outdoor Store, north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to Honda Casino. The score is, at halftime, 28-0, Snowflake leads.
This has been iTalk 106.7's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Halftime Show.
This is Angela Diamond for Horn Auto Center, and we have some diamond of deals going on all month long. Check out the Chevy Equinox 2026 all-wheel drive starting at $32,000. Check out this diamond of a deal on the Chevy Silverado, discounted up to $8,000, bringing it under $42,000. Come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy Cadillac GMC store that saved you more.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. Pay the lowest tuition in the state. Get a bachelor's degree in education or business. This is taken by one of the up men. Oh, and he allows 2 defenders to zip by him. And winds up going all the way out toward the 30 as that's a nifty run there.
Eric Morales,
yes.
number 11, that made a good cut back inside to make a little more out of that return than he probably should have been able to.
So after allowing scoring drives with just one play on Snowflake's last 2 opportunities. Poston Butte didn't have an awful lot of time to work with, but was able to move the football deep into Lobo territory going into the break. Now trailing 28-0. Can't necessarily say they could continue to play at the pace where they have been, but have just demonstrated when they hurry it up on that last series, they're able to definitely move the sticks. As this one handed off to Filetti, and he just looks like he's going to get stopped for a yard or two and winds up forcing his way all the way out for a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, good drive by that offensive line on that one too. Filetti just tucks himself up behind there, fits in behind those big blockers, and they just keep pushing, and that time something broke loose and allowed him to go for about 6 yards.
2nd down now, they're calling it 4. Again, Filetti single back, under center goes Garner, as they will go Filetti. He tries to go over the left side, and again, looks like he's going to get stopped for very short yardage and winds up bowling his way forward for a gain of 5 and a Poston Butte first down.
Lobo D-line's going to really have to dig in right here. It looks like they're going to really commit to that dive part of that option look, and the Lobos are also going to have to stay disciplined. They'll definitely try to catch a defensive end, outside linebacker sleeping, and that quarterback will pull that ball and run around the end if he sees it open.
11 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Opening kick has been moved now outside the 40. 28-0 Snowflake leading, but on the defensive side, having a hard time with Filetti is now he's off to the right side. Quick toss going out to the far side where it's had by Weimer Weimerstick.
Weimer
Skirch. There we go. Can't read my writing.
I learned Spanish. I did not learn German. That's a great name. Good catch by him, and almost broke loose there. He took a big hit from the cornerback coming up there, but luckily they wrapped him up enough to bring him down.
Set completed for the 7th of 10. 53 yards for Grady Garner as I formations behind him now, nearly in the backfield with one of the Lobos, but running right by him and getting about 8 or 9 yards is, again, Weimerskirch.
Yep. Again, you got to respect Poston Butte. Come into this game struggling and down 28-0, but they've come out with some fire here in the second half, trying to make some positive things happen.
3rd down and 2, trailing 4 touchdowns. This would probably be 4-down territory here for the Broncos as they come out of the huddle with Dunn in the backfield. Got split backs actually, as Garner is going to keep, and again use that big offensive line to get a surge right at the yard marker. And it's a 1st down. Again, this defensive line's going to have to dig in, make sure they stay low, don't get pushed back, and if they haven't been playing that way, that's hard to do, to readjust and get back into your form that you need. Push it into Snowflake territory. Ball's at the 49. 9:25 to go, 3rd quarter, 28-0. The Lobos lead, but this is the 2nd time in as many Bronco possessions that they've watched him move the chains. As this one short drop, Garner looking to the near side, thrown, caught by Leone, and as he is over the 40 and right again at the yard marker. And should be enough for a 1st down.
Nice little play there. The quarterback had a couple of options to throw out to this side, and that slant came open a little late.
Looked like there might have been a little bit of movement.
Poston Butte trying to hurry up there, but right guard got a little bit too much of a hurry.
Was a very good drive here to start, now having to go behind the chains on 1st down and back into their, well, no, I beg your pardon, just back to the 44.
Puts them behind schedule a little bit here. Let's see if the Lobos can capitalize on that.
Had all sorts of success, primarily with Filetti, but Weimerskirch also in the backfield has done an awful lot right now. Filetti has done on his left. Give the call to Filetti as he goes from the right to the left. And again, looks like he is going to be met at the line of scrimmage, but winds up forcing his way up for a 5-yard gain. He now has 51 yards on 15 carries.
And we knew coming in, I mentioned it right off the bat, it's a name you recognize we've been watching Poston Butte football for 4 years now, and he's been the heart and soul of this Poston Butte team for quite a few years.
Gets the yards back that were lost on the procedure flag. 8 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Second down, well, just outside, we'll call it a short 11, as a man's coming in motion left to right, and now another procedure flag. It looked like
here on the right side, number 88. I don't know if he lost his balance or if he actually started going, but moves him back 5 again.
So second down now. They're calling it 16. We had started to wonder the 8 schools that you might look at as having a legitimate shot to win the 4A conference. Northwest Christian's leading Thunderbird 21-14 at halftime. Would you put them on that list?
You know, you can't ever take Northwest Christian off that list. I know they got off to a little bit a slow start this year. They haven't looked like the typical Northwest Christian team that we've seen over the years, but that's an impressive score against Thunderbird, an undefeated team that a lot of teams feel like, or a lot of people feel like, has a good chance at 4A this year.
Weimer Scourge with a nice delivery again from Garner, but a huge hit from Mason Rabin. He's got another one that we could consider for the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. If you need glass for your home or business, call Deemer's Glass at 1-888-GLASS-MAN, as there is a holding flag that was not going to be picked up there, as there was just 3 yards gained on that passing play.
Yeah, good physical tackle there by Mason Rabin. He's sending a message. He's going to come in. You don't want to come to this side. You're going to pay a price if you do.
Third down now and 12. Clock approaching 7 minutes, as 5 minutes have come off the clock here after Poston Butte took the opening kick to start the second half. Out to outside the 30, and then are able to run this one now to the Snowflake, almost 40, but have had a couple of procedure flags that have stunted it at this point. Going to give this one to Caraballo, as he looked like he was going to have an opportunity to catch the edge going out to the far side, but cut it back upfield and right into the teeth of a couple of tacklers. Gains 3 to make it 4th and about 9.
Did a good job there. Going back to that previous play, the Lobos declined a holding penalty that would have moved it back further, but this drive's already been extended several times by penalties, and the down marker hadn't been changing over there, so elected to take it to third down and not take the penalty, and that turned out to be a good call. We got 4th and 10 now here.
In a safety position, Willis now is going to start creeping up. It looked like he was about halfway between expecting a play from the offense or a punt. Weiner Scourge goes in motion and instead going to throw this one to the near side, where Caraballo has this one picked off with Rabin running in front. Rabin gets the interception, but might have been better off knocking that one down, but hard to prevent a playmaker from doing what he's out there to do.
That's true. As good as a punt, on a play like that. So give credit to Poston Butte. That's not a bad time to take a shot there. And you're right. When you have a chance to pick that ball off, it's pretty hard to pass that up, no matter what down it is.
28-0, Snowflake leading, 5:54 to go. 6 minutes come off the clock on that opening drive for Poston Butte. Got the number 1 unit out here for the Lobos. Gian Jones all alone off on the left. Haven't called his name yet on the offensive side. Instead going to try to throw this one off to the right, but it's nearly picked off.
And Jacob, you saw him hesitate a little bit there, and he did go ahead and decide to get that ball in, but probably would have been better off to maybe tuck that one and look for somewhere to run and just make some positive yards himself on that, rather than take the risk of throwing that out into coverage.
Eastmark, this is still being reported in the second quarter, leading Mesquite 19-14. So that one continues to be a little bit of a
fairly
surprise.
Close game.
Yeah.
The Lobos are in a tough region this year. It's definitely not a gimme.
After the incompletion, was that a design run, or did he fumble that one again? We're not sitting very high up. He did fumble.
Yeah. He he was carrying it, but then number 8, I think, coming in there, got a hand on that ball and knocked it out. Jacob might have gone for a few yards if he didn't get the ball knocked out of his hands.
So now 3rd down and 10. Lobos on both sides of the football here, looking a little sluggish coming out of the locker room. It's hard to blame them. We've just talked about how they are making their second trip down in as many weeks. Had already raced out to a 28-0 lead, playing a team that is looking for its first win. It's tough to keep their foot on the gas, one would think. Now facing 3rd and 10. Drop back, set up a screen. Here's Jones with his first opportunity. He's got all sorts of green as he catches that one at the 20, and now he's on a foot race. Already at the 50, 40. Jones is at the 20, and Gian Jones has just gone 87 yards for a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown.
Well, great play, great execution. We talked about this little slip screen look there, and that one, too many times we've seen it not quite executed as well as it needs to. Get the blockers out there and the timing down on it, but great timing, great execution. Some good blocks out on the edge that open up a little seam, and Gian takes it all the way down the field.
I would be very interested to have a conversation with these teams that, I mean, at this point, everybody's got the film. You got to know that the Lobos have speed at just about every position, but it's got to still be a little bit of a surprise. You think that these mountain kids coming out here just running right by everybody, as they saw it at Marcos from a different series of possessions, and then Gian Jones just on a foot race. Is that one, I believe, was no good, but a flag came out.
You know, if your track program and your football program aren't tied pretty closely together, then you're missing out on some things. And if you go to track season and watch the track meets in the spring, you know the Lobos have speed. Some of the top runners in the division are out there on that field tonight with the Lobos. The top sprinters, I should say.
It's so impressive, though. Again, playing up at the 4A level, that they have. Wait a minute. Okay, so I thought they said that the flag was on Poston Butte.
It was. The Lobos declined for whatever reason. I didn't catch what the penalty actually was, but I saw Coach Reddick signal to decline that.
All right.
So must not have given them another opportunity for the PAT, which is strange on a PAT attempt.
4:44 left, third quarter, 34-0 Snowflake leads. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on NightTalk 106.7 or NightTalk1067.com.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff goes into the end zone after it bounced off of Caraballo's shoulder. So the interesting decision by opting to not accept that penalty after the missed extra point is the clock's not running.
You know, maybe that played into that decision. As a coach, I've always had mixed feelings, and I know Coach Reddick does too, about running clocks. It steals away some time from some of your players, some of your back-end players or second string or whatever you want to call them that have a chance now to get on the field tonight and get a little playing time in at the varsity level.
After the quick strike, when it looked like they were flirting with a 3 and out, and now another awkward exchange as Garner had second thoughts and then winds up hanging on to it, but I think
big number 66 had something to say about that. Who's that? He's new into the game.
Jackson Reedhead.
Jackson Reedhead. I should know that. Jackson's my neighbor. Lives across the street from me. I should have his number memorized, but he was right there at the point of attack. Did a great job. Good job, Jackson.
6'1", 240 as a sophomore.
He's a big boy.
What does dinner sound like across the street, Mike?
Everybody get out of the way when Jackson's coming to the table, I guess.
I formation now behind Garner as they're again in the backfield. Who is it this time?
Jack Butler, I see in there, it looks like right away. I don't know. Jackson's right there.
Omar Marine.
Omar is another sophomore.
What do we call him, Marin or Marine?
Marin, I believe.
Marin. Third
probably.
time's a charm.
See, I do speak Spanish, so Marin. I can get that one mostly right. It's gringo Spanish, but it's Spanish.
I'm speechless in any language. Third down and 16 with the clock running at 3:33 to go here in the third. Passing situation. Throws this one over the top, and again, he's got a man with a little bit of space. It would have been Bannister. It was going to be a tough delivery.
Lobos need to tighten up that coverage a little bit on that back end. Poston Butte shown that they can find receivers down the field there, so hopefully they don't, if they connect on something like that, they might get some momentum again.
Snowflake has played a couple of teams that look like they want to, if not are willing, to try and throw it around. They got 4 more games, including Arcadia. Is there anybody before Arcadia that's going to be looking to try to chuck? As this punt's high and short and signal a fair catch. Now trying to get everybody out of the way. Take some Poston Butte bounce. But is that something that they should be concerned about, seeing all these open receivers downfield today?
You know, yes, they definitely need to be ready. Even if it's not in the region play, they'll see some teams that can throw the ball pretty well as they get into the playoffs. But the Lobos are solid secondary. I think overall one of the better teams we've had on that back end of the defensive side. So I did see, we had a few guys subbed in out there. Nash Reedhead is new this week, so playing that cornerback's a little bit new for him with this system too.
Still got the first unit out there defensively as Willis this time takes the toss, and he's able to turn the corner on the far side, but gets spilled after he runs into Poston Butte territory to the 42. It winds up being a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, 9-yard pass from LeDuc to Willis on that. And again, that goes down as a pass on the stat sheet. It always catches my attention. I remember when Yuma Catholic was lighting it up, and you watch their film, and a lot of their passing yards were coming on fly sweep stuff like that. 500 yards passing in a game, but 300 of it was on fly sweeps like that.
Here's LeDuc pulling it back on the option opportunity and then delivering the hurt as he comes down to the 35, gains 18 yards after he is run out of bounds by Caraballo. But there's some more of that Jacob LeDuc experience.
Like you say, he's a good-sized dude, strong, and imagine coming up to hit him, try to take him down. You definitely got to be thinking twice about it a little bit.
But so many other quarterbacks at every level would have just gone ahead and skirted out of bounds there, but he went ahead and just kept it. It's huge, a huge couple of blows delivered by Green as he started going right, bounces it back to the left, and then run out of bounds inside the 10. But he again, much like his quarterback, who's going right after the contact. You see there the replay. That's not anybody that he's running over. Also, that's Filetti.
Yep, yeah, Filetti, a rare miss on a tackle for him. He got his head down a little bit. Brenner was able to push him off and get back going back to the left side. Nice run by Brenner.
30-yard gain makes it first and goal at the 5. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Third quarter, 34-0. Snowflake leading and threatening. 3 receivers, including Edge Bryant, going out there wide right. LeDuc, short drop, looking left, and fires this one to the back of the end zone where he's got Smith for the score from 5 out, a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown.
Single coverage over on this left side with the trips over on the right, and nice route and nice ball by LeDuc. Put it right on Smith's number 1, and great execution there.
So that makes it 40-0 and should run the clock as the Lobos set up the swing and gate. Taking a look at the sideline, and now we'll go ahead and line up for the kicked extra point.
McCoy Norton been pretty solid. They've tried a few new things on the swinging gate look tonight, but they roll that group in and line up in the traditional PAT, and McCoy knocks that one right through.
41-0, Snowflake leading. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
But we want Bradshaw to win.
Minute and a half to go, and the clock is moving. It's just noticing that Bradshaw Mountain is leading 41-6, hosting Flagstaff. This is the Northern Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at NPC. Pay the lowest tuition in the state. 35-14, Northwest Christian playing host to Thunderbird. Is this one taken in front of the goal line? Caraballo cuts it up along the near hash and then gets run into by his own man, allowing the Lobos to catch up with him at the 30.
Stockton Turley in there on the tackle. He gets to come in and do some kick coverage stuff. He's playing left guard usually on that offensive line too. So shout out, good job to Stockton there.
This Northwest Christian score is becoming increasingly interesting.
Thunderbird's been a team that you probably heard a little bit about, and they seem to be a very good team, a solid team. But again, I don't think you can ever count Northwest Christian out. They're a solid program, and it looked like they were a little down this year, but they're showing something tonight in a big game for them.
It's a very big run there from Filetti as he winds up taking a couple of Lobos for a run.
See a lot of new numbers out there for the Lobos right now, and those guys are going to have to step up here. They need to finish this game out the way the rest of them have been playing it.
So last year, my kids go to Queen Creek, and those Bulldogs wound up getting tripped up by Centennial, I think, in the semifinals. The Centennial was under 500 going into state. You got this expanded look for 4A was the only one that we're worried about at this point in time. We'll continue this thought after this break, because that was the last play of the third quarter. 41-0 Snowflake leads. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
41-0. The clock is running here to start the fourth quarter as the Lobos have the advantage. Here's a quick toss out to Caraballo, and he picks up a block to get by one round. Oh, no, he's still on his feet. So stop shortchanging me, radio man. The question that I was going to pose to you, though, before the third quarter expired on us is, again, just looking at Centennial, which under 500, winds up playing maybe even one state last year in 6A. I cannot remember, but it sure feels like as you expand this out, you got people that are going to suffer injuries in September, and it seemed like their opportunity was going to be derailed by that, or you're frequently talking about, as Snowflake is benefiting from right now, getting a transfer that's eligible, that there's just going to be wide open with all these extra teams.
Yeah, rare transfer for Snowflake, but it's become part of the norm down here, especially a lot more, where there's a lot more schools in close proximity, and you just don't know. I mean, I've seen some things in, reported in the media that cover high school football about transfers and who, what schools got these transfers and those transfers. They don't all get reported. Nash Reedhead, most people probably didn't even know about that one until they heard us talk about him on the air tonight. It definitely, I think, changes the face of some of these teams, and I'm not saying for sure, but maybe that's something that Northwest Christian has going on tonight too.
That one was deflected, and then a diving effort from Leon did not get underneath it, but what gallantry!
Pretty close there. Almost managed to make something out of that with three receivers together and two Lobo defenders, or maybe three, all right there in the same area.
So when you get to state, by that point, you're going to have tape that everybody you're going to be aware of. I think this is more of a question for the fans and parents and stuff. But man, it's just.
Yeah, I think some teams might be caught a little off guard this week and next with some of these newer players. But by the time you get to playoffs, I think things will even out a little bit too.
Filetti with the initial hole, which is something that he doesn't frequently have. That. He can try to run through. Oh, of course I got to try it now. Lane.
LeCheminot.
I was not going to go there. LeCheminot with the big stop is now already at the line of scrimmage and again going with Filetti.
Lane, another one of those offensive linemen, getting some defensive line time here tonight with the lopsided score.
Well, he just delivered a big blow.
Yeah, Lane's a good football player. You have Omar in there, Jackson Reedhead on the front line, and I can't see that far defensive end. Got Ryder Williams, it looks like, playing some linebacker, and also number 30, Xander Alcantar, another sophomore. A lot of good young talent on the field. Cannon Smith over here at this outside linebacker spot.
4th down and about 7 as they fake the handoff, and have this one deflected at the line.
Nice play. Is that Ryder Williams? Number 20.
Yeah. Yes, excellent play there.
Gets his hand up. Good play. Ryder coming from his linebacker spot to make that play.
How about this score? Saguaro with an H, 15. Walden Grove nothing at halftime.
Yeah, I thought Walden Grove was one of the better teams from down in that neck of the woods, but that one surprises me.
Interestinger and interest. Pueblo 54, Rincon 6. I don't know if we were on the air when we had to go back and confirm that they beat Catalina Foothills, as record is 3-2 after that one. Now a give to Hall as he's getting his first action with 8 minutes to go. Ends up running up for about a yard. Pueblo, as we were suspecting Micah Mountain and Walden Grove to be the Tucson teams this year to keep an eye on, but Pueblo, when was the last time they were relevant?
Pueblo, Saguaro, Tucson, it's Saguaro with an H, as you say, and there's some new teams kind of finding life down there, it sounds like.
They got an awful big enrollment problem in TUSD as they're trying to start with a handoff, but Greer might have been on a different page than his running back.
Yeah, Greer with the fake and tries to run that one. You get some, a lot of JV players playing against varsity players on the Poston Butte side right now. Poston has some of their guys out too, though, and but again, some good development time for some young players here.
Now pressure coming, but he unloads. Oh, and he had his man wide open there. But that was the fellow who just had that deflection at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Ryder Williams out on that pass route, and he did a good job just staying on his feet. He kind of got tripped up in his break there on that route, but managed to get his eyes up and get his hands up and almost make that catch.
This is not going to help the Lobos' cause, as now Paradise Honors leads ALA West Foothills 21-7. That's reported in the third quarter.
Yeah, Paradise Honors has been a solid 3A program for quite a few years, and I believe they made the choice to move up to 4A. I think they're looking at travel and things, and so they're showing they're gonna be a team to contend with as well.
big hop taken by Weimer-Skirch as he runs to the near sideline, winds up getting out of bounds at the 25. Rabin a little slow getting up.
Yeah, something you don't want to see late in a game like this with making that tackle and preventing a big return. But you don't want to take some of the wear and tear off some of these first-team guys if you can.
Have you seen a Blue Ridge Payson score?
I have not. Well, I did see one. Third quarter, I saw it looked like Blue Ridge was up. I think it was 13-6 or something like that.
5:20 to go, 41-0 as the handoff on first down goes Filetti, and he is met quickly by a series of Lobo tacklers.
Good stop there by the Lobo front on that play. I'm seeing
Lecheminot.
Ooh, hold on here. Yeah, Lane Lecheminot.
Is that
36-14 Payson?
Wow. Well, that turned around fast.
Maybe I was not seeing that right before. It was Blue Ridge with the lead earlier when I checked, but that's showing a third quarter score of 36-14.
Huh.
Payson.
Huh.
You know, I don't know if I mentioned it on the air last week, but I was, with Payson and Round Valley playing last week. Round Valley came off a loss for Blue Ridge, turned around and beat Payson in the Dome last week, and then now you have Payson turn around and beating Blue Ridge. It's going to be a dogfight in that mountain region for even just for the region championship.
Yeah. So only 16 teams coming out of the 3A. Do you think there's a chance that all 4 of them are going to be able to get in?
I think all 4. I think they go by straight power points, which I've always liked. There's definitely been some regions and coaches around the state that have complained, and I think that has something to do with some of the conferences going to 24 teams in the playoffs, so that at least they get a playoff game. You've had Walden Grove, I think, is a good example. I think they might have been the team last year that were at 9-1, or maybe the year before. I don't remember. 9-1 record, but did not make the playoffs because their strength of schedule was low enough to keep them out of the top 16.
We've got 3.5 minutes to go, and the Lobos leading 41-0. As we'll take a look at some of the stuff that we would ordinarily say for the post game, but no, I cursed it.
Post game's going to come up pretty quickly here.
Timeout taken, I believe, by Poston Butte, trailing 41-0 with 3:07 to go. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait, including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers, and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
This is Angela Diamond for Horn Auto Center, and we have some diamond of deals going on all month long. Check out the Chevy Equinox 2026 all-wheel drive starting at $32,000. Check out this diamond of a deal on the Chevy Silverado, discounted up to $8,000, bringing it under $42,000. Come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy Cadillac GMC store that saves you more.
3 minutes to go. Poston Butte just used a timeout. As out there, we'll do some punting on 4th down and 11. There's a little bit of pressure coming up. Oh, and that was deflected, so the contact made is going to be no harm, no foul. Now we're taking another Poston Butte bounce toward midfield. We had talked a little bit. Fans are frustrated.
Yep. You saw the official signal right away that was partially blocked, and so any roughing or running into the kicker penalty goes away after that.
I think this is the first game in a couple of weeks where we haven't discussed the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. coming from the offensive side. If you need glass for your home or business, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, call 1-888-GLASSMAN is here. Handoff goes Hall, immediately met as he's dropped for a short loss. I believe he called Rabin's name, which is not a surprise on one of them, and the other I can't remember.
Gian Jones
yes.
in the second quarter, back in the secondary. I think that was a great hit by Gian. Timed it up just right and laid a hit on.
I remember, that's definitely got to be the one. And that was coming at a moment when it looked like Poston Butte was starting to establish a little bit of a rhythm offensively. As here, snap brought down, fake the handoff. Oh, and throws that one a big hit delivered.
Yep, there's some glass shattering hits going on right now against some of the Lobo JV players.
Making them wonder what it's like playing other football, if you know what I mean. But the Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game. If you need glass for your home or business, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Here's a third down throw that's coming to the near side. Had by Bryant, steps behind a couple of defenders and then gives him a chance to run for a first down. Can't do so with now 65 seconds left. The Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. You go back to the first quarter when the Lobos' first drive stalled in large part because of a holding flag. Second one was going to be punctuated by a 35-yard run from Green that I believe that drive started on the 40. So a 60-yard drive that more than half of which came on that run from Green, but that kind of set the tone and allowed Snowflake's offense to really start to open up. Is that the best way to look at that one?
Brenner's played at a high level. Yeah, I think after those first two drives, even though the first one wasn't successful, I think you had him down for 70 yards, I believe, or something like that, and that was within the first, half of the first quarter. So, yeah, Brenner helped set the tone tonight. He just continues to play at a very, very high level with his offensive unit.
So the Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. Is there a procedure flag thrown against Snowflake? But that is going to be the final play as it happens with 10 seconds to go, and the final will be 41-0. The Lobos run the record to 6-0 as we'll continue looking at some of these things and players right after this. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Final score 41-0. Snowflake with the win. We already did the Horn Auto Center drive of the game and Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game, but the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, get your windshield replaced by the experts. We were talking about it off the air, even though we were highlighting his big run that got into the end zone first. Brenner Green picked up the 2 big runs to punctuate the win at Marcos and really just picked up right where he left off here. Over 100 yards and getting a bunch of them on just a couple of runs. So he seems like he's the slam dunk to be the player of the game here.
I think you can go that route. We generally are looking at the offense. I know when we're talking about that player of the game, Jacob with another solid night tonight. Brenner, just a lot of good things going for this Lobo offense. I think you got to look over to the other side of the ball a little bit. And while I tonight especially, I don't know that you can pick out a single individual performance, but the Lobos did pitch a shutout tonight on the defensive side of the ball. I think you got to give credit to that defensive unit as well for coming and showing up and playing some really tough, good, hard-nosed Lobo football tonight.
So next up, Combs, which I just learned that you could have a 2-0 final at the high school level. Not that I didn't know that was a possibility. You just never ever see it. That Combs team defensively seems as if it's been its forte. How do the Lobos match up with them?
Well, we've had some score updates tonight, and they lost. They had a perfect streak going. 0 points scored on their defense up until tonight. I know Arcadia has changed that, flipped that script on Combs, but Combs comes up to Snowflake next week, and it's been a few years since we've had Combs up there, but they're a hard-nosed, tough football team. And coming off from, I believe, a loss tonight to Arcadia, or at least it sounded like it was headed that way. They will be working hard to try and turn things around for them. Another region game, and these region games, people are fighting for the opportunity to have at least a piece of that region championship.
I had asked if you thought that for the 3A. What do we call that region now? 3A Mountain.
Uh-huh.
Is that if they could get in? Do you think that there's 4 teams from the Lobos region?
I honestly do. I can see Combs, Eastmark, Arcadia, Snowflake, and even Mesquite, who I think we announced they were playing Eastmark tonight.
Yeah,
was that right?
Very
that
tightly.
Was a close game too. So. I think that yes, very well, especially with the expanded 24 team playoff in 4A. I think we could see that happen with our Desert Sky region for the Lobos. On the Mountain region in 3A, yes, I think we could see Round Valley, Show Low, Payson, and the Blue Ridge all in that field for the 4A playoffs. I'll go back to an update on that. Thank you to those of you that texted me, and Blue Ridge was leading that game 14-3 at halftime, but that last score that I reported was correct. It was 35 or 36 to 14 Payson.
That is
big
a wild turn of events there. I'm trying to find an Arcadia score before we head out, but
last week.
Oh, here we go. 37-0 still in the third quarter. So,
and hopefully that's accurate. Every once in a while, I get some wonky scores out of Max Preps.
All right, final score here at Poston Butte High School. Snowflake wins now 6-0 after the 41-0 triumph here over the Broncos at home for Combs. As there's a lot of home action coming for the Lobos here in the last 4 games. 3 of the last 4 are going to be in the friendly confines. As we thank you for starting your weekend with us. Thank you, Coach Solomon, Guy Chilelli, got Mel West, director, and all sorts of great cameramen, Jeff, Corbin, and Robin, that were putting it together. Thank you all for watching it, and we will be back with you next week with Combs traveling to Snowflake. Until then, be safe.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pinetop and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 106.7 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 106.7 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.